This is the next question in Unit 5, Assessment on our study guide. So this is from August 2025, Regents, and this is question number 20 on that Regents. It says, a section of sidewalk in the shape of a rectangular prism is being replaced. The sidewalk is 10 feet long, 4 feet wide, and 4 inches deep. A brand of concrete mix yields 0.6 cubic foot of concrete per bag. What is the minimum number of bags of concrete mix that must be purchased to completely replace the sidewalk? So the thing to be wary about is that all of these dimensions are not in the same unit. I have 2 which are in feet, and then the last dimension is in inches. So we need to actually convert the 4 inches to feet. So I'm going to say first step is we're going to convert inches to feet. And how we're going to do that is by remembering that there are 12 inches in 1 foot. So we're going to multiply the 4 inches by 1 over 12. I know that there's an invisible 1 underneath that 4, and inches cross out. We're going to be left with 4 over 12 of a foot, which is equal to, if I simplify this fraction, I can divide by the greatest common factor of 4. I end up getting 1/3 of a foot. So 4 inches is about 1/3 of a foot. Which makes sense because if I have 3 parts here, and this is going by 4s, I'm going to start at 0. This is 0, 4, 8, and then 12. So this 4 over here, it's only 1/3 of this 3 part here. Alrighty, keeping that in the back of our minds now, we're going to calculate the volume. So volume for a rectangular prism is just, so volume for any prism is capital B times H, right? And as practice, we're going to look for the area of the base. And we know that the base is a rectangle because it's named after the base. We said it was a rectangular prism. So area of a rectangle is just length times width. And really we multiply by the height. So we end up with length times width times height for a rectangular prism when we want to find the volume of it. Alrighty, so now we can do 10 times 4 times our 1/3 that we just found, and these are now all in feet, so perfect. And when we plug this all into the calculator, we end up getting 13.3 repeated. And I'm going to write this in cubic feet. The next part is, since we're not trying to find the mass, but we're trying to find a quantity, such as the minimum number of bags of concrete mix that is needed, we then need to find out how many cubic foot fits into 1 bag. And they told us that we can fit 0.6 cubic foot in a concrete per bag. So what we're going to do is take this 13.3 repeated. Now we're going to type all of this into our calculator because we're not going to round till the very end. And we're going to divide it by 0.6. We basically want to find out how many times does 0.6 cubic feet fit into 13.33333 ongoing cubic feet. So we end up with 22.2 repeated, and now this is in the number of bags. Because earlier the cubic feet cancel and we're just left with bags. And I know some of you selected A, but the correct answer is actually B, 23, because even though that 0.2 is not 5 or greater, we cannot round it down to 22 because we're not going to have enough concrete mix if we round down to 22. So this kind of ignores like the rounding rules. We must round up despite the decimal not being 5 or greater, so that we can have enough concrete mix. So the final answer is 23 bags of concrete mix.